Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's session, which is Crypto, a Beginner's Guide for Accountants and IFAs. So I'm recording on the 9th of September, so the information I will give you is correct as of today. So let me just share my screen. Just mute my attendees that are live. So share screen. So, quick disclaimer, the information that I will be running over today does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, or trading advice. Rather, it's education, information, and inspiration. So a big welcome to Dacxi. Dacxi is a crypto exchange. So we're one of the exchanges which allow our platform users to change their British pounds or indeed a number of other currencies into crypto. So our mission statement is we want to make crypto easy to understand. So we put out a lot of content around crypto themes. And we're particularly focused on people who are new to crypto as an industry, which is pretty much everyone that uses our platform. So whether they're our users or we're people that we collaborate with, we put a lot of content out for property investors, accountants, IFAs. We want to really be the starting point for people that are looking to get into that marketplace. So unsurprisingly, we get a lot of press coverage. This is just a selection of publications we've been seen in the last couple of months. And I personally write a lot for the press around crypto, what's going on in the industry, what the marketplace is doing, how the adoption is happening. Really just reflecting how crypto is technology which is gaining massive traction in our society and of course as an asset class. So you can find me on LinkedIn. Feel free to add me if you are looking at this presentation on Listen Again. I'm currently Managing Director for Dacxi in the UK and Europe. And Dacxi is my third blockchain business. I've worked for two others and they've recently received some substantial valuations. Before that, I worked in capital markets technology, working with a number of investment banks, including Deutsche Bank, UBS, and some of the high street banks like Metro and Sainsbury's. And I spent the majority of my career working for disruptive fintech businesses. And I've also worked with a lot of financial professionals, particularly through IFAs and accountants. And I've worked on a lot of pension business over my career. So I'm well placed to talk about how crypto works and how you may wish to consider it as part of your day-to-day life as a finance professional. So over this presentation, I want to talk about the regulatory environment. Crypto has a sometimes fractious relationship with various regulators worldwide. So I think it's important to talk about what's going on in the UK and Europe. Why Dacxi? So what's going on with Dacxi as a business right now today? I think we have to acknowledge there's been a huge amount of bad exchanges, bad ideas and bad products. We are of course one of the leading exchanges, so I want to talk about what we do and a couple of things really that are a bit different and how to keep yourself safe in the crypto environment, and really just key factors in terms of credibility if you do want to work with crypto businesses, the kind of people that we collaborate with and how they're working with us today, why crypto and why now, what's happening in the marketplace right now, which cryptos are reputable. Obviously, there's a huge variety of coins. There's just short of 7,000 different cryptos out there today. So really a large number to choose from. Important to understand why some of those are not fit for purpose and frankly toxic. We have a very active referral program, so I'll talk a little bit about that. A bit about marketing and business support that we provide. And forgive me, we normally have some guest speakers, but today I am talking on my own. So let's just start with the regulatory environment. I'm conscious the majority of the audience for this presentation would be coming from a regulated perspective. And I want to talk about the FCA's attitude and treatment of crypto. So the FCA is finally taking crypto seriously. I think from our point of view, we very much welcome that. I think it really cleans out some people in the industry that shouldn't be there. And there's some great research online. I've put the link in this document. You can find it if you Google it. It's very easily accessible. So the FCA this summer wrote a research note, which I think shows that they're finally taking a bit of notice of crypto as an industry. There's a couple of really interesting things that came out of that. It's quite a long document, definitely worth having a read through if you've got time. And it showed a couple of things. Firstly, that the rate of uptake through the UK population is growing massively. So it's estimated that 3.8% of the adult UK population owns crypto. And that's roughly double from last year. So I think that's a phenomenal rate of growth. There's a real shift in buyer demographics. So the age bracket which is seeing the most growth, unsurprisingly, is one of the more affluent age brackets, between 45 and 55. But there are still remaining some significant barriers to entry, which as a business, certainly Dacxi is very conscious of. So firstly, lack of knowledge, a lot of misconception around crypto. You can Google it and fall into a black hole pretty quickly, which is one of the reasons we try and put out some accurate and palatable content. Underutilization of the exchanges which are closer to home. So a lot of the exchanges, if you want to get involved in crypto, would be in far-flung and mysterious places. So obviously it's very appealing to be working with an exchange which is close to home. We actually have offices based just outside Oxford, and we're regulated in Europe. And of course, lots of issues around consumer protection, understandably still a big barrier to entry, just in terms of people keeping themselves safe. So in terms of regulatory environment, we're proud to say, of course, we're under the FCA for the AML as a requirement. So again, lots of information from the FCA, and quite rightly, they are supervising that under UK crypto asset businesses. So of course, we are under that. The FCA has also said that from the 10th of January, existing businesses that carry out any crypto activity have to be compliant with AML rules and need to register with the FCA, which of course we've done. And if you're a new business, there's some slightly different rules that obviously you have to register before you conduct any new business. So we're actually regulated in Europe, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But of course, if you're looking at getting involved in crypto, it's really key to understand that any exchange that you work with needs to conform to that. So the other thing, of course, sorry, I thought I'd put the links on there. So we have some European regulation, which I'll pop in the chat for those of you that are listening live. So for those of you that are coming from an accounting perspective, HMRC has put out guidance both for individuals and for companies. So they've declared that typically they would expect that individuals buying and selling crypto would not normally amount to an investment activity. And as such, of course, those individuals will have to pay CGT on any gains they realise. And only in exceptional circumstances would HMRC consider that buying and selling would be frequent enough that would amount to a financial trade itself. But as I say, there is guidance on HMRC's website which you can look up. And similarly for companies, again, HMRC has been very clear on how those profits should be treated. So for those of you that are accountants, if you do have customers that are making good profits in crypto and they come to you and say, what do I do about that? Of course, HMRC has provided some guidance. So I want to talk about Dacxi. Obviously, there are a reasonable number of exchanges out there. There are ones you may have heard of like Coinbase and Binance. And interestingly, lots of people that get involved in crypto tend to do so on the recommendation of someone else, so friends or family or work colleagues. And Dacxi is very focused on growing that in the UK. We have a substantial audience in the UK already. And our prime source of new customers is recommendation and referral. And the vast majority of our customers do tend to come back for repeat purchase via our platform. So around 70% of our business would be people that have purchased through it historically coming back. And particularly because we have a very low entry level, which is £100, often people start off using the platform just to get comfortable with it. Typically would put £100 on just to get a feel for it, and then come back and make further purchases of crypto later down the line. And most of our customers now are looking at purchasing crypto in the order of probably a couple of £1,000s. So look, why Dacxi? We're a digital asset exchange, so we don't do anything that I always say a holiday travel money company does. So obviously when I go on holiday, whether you need euros or dollars or whatever, you go and exchange your lovely British pounds for those. We do exactly the same thing, but we do it with digital assets. And of course we do that online. So look, there are a number of exchanges out there. There's a lot of variety. We're very focused on the fact we have a UK presence. We also want to make it safe, easy and secure for people to hold crypto. So that's really key for us. to make sure that there's a lot of online security. So there's an independent security rating of A+ that we have. You can check that with Mozilla Observatory. We put quite a lot of content out around that. That's the highest rating that can be achieved. And also just in terms of liquidity, it means that for our customers that buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, we can actually allow them an exit strategy if they're wishing to exit for any reason at a future date. So in terms of regulation, as I mentioned, we are licensed in Europe. Those are licenses that you can look up. And of course, we comply with the KYC and AML requirements of FCA. And we are in the future looking to be a crowdfunding business, which I'll talk about in a few slides' time. And we've also got a huge ambition for the future. So we're very education focused. We put out a lot of content, whether it's webinars or ebooks. We're quoted a lot in the press. And we're very future focused on being the leading crypto business in the UK. And of course, we want to make sure that we're doing a good job in terms of looking after our clients. We have one of the largest customer services teams per user across the crypto industry. We'll also see us quite a lot in the future. We've got some high profile projects going on right now. We intend to list on the London Stock Exchange in the next year or so. And we're also currently working on ISA and pension REITs, which again, just for people that want those sort of more regulated products, we know that there's a lot of demand out there. So look, the Dacxi ecosystem is a very interesting one. We have a community coin called the DAC. That's performed very well for our platform users in recent months and years. We've actually got some of our original coin holders, which are up about 400%. This presentation is going out in early September. There's a further price increase coming at the end of September of 25%. So the DAC as an ecosystem is fantastic. We'll be seeing that listed on an exchange by the end of the year, which will make it easily tradable. And we feel like we are currently seeing some good returns for clients that are purchasing. So the eventual intention for our community coin is that it will be used for crowd crypto. We're focused on providing opportunities across a number of countries in up and coming businesses. So obviously that's a very well established business so far. Obviously in the UK, we're fairly au fait with crowdfunding and peer-to-peer. My own personal background was a peer-to-peer lender. So these are just some of those different businesses that you see in the industry right now. So they tend to be split between the crowd lending, which is peer-to-peer, typically property or SME lending. There's also some crowdfunding, which again, there's a number of very well-established businesses with substantial loan books. But it's only really now you've got businesses coming forwards that are putting those two concepts together, which is crowd lending, crowdfunding, and crypto. So our anticipation is that by the end of the year, you'll see a lot more information coming out from us about that. So right now today, you tend to find that those are separate platforms. There are digital offerings, digital assets, similar to what Dacxi does. There's lots of opportunities that are based on the crowd, but we feel there's another generation of platforms coming which use crypto to do that. So our eventual intention is to provide opportunities across around 100 countries. And the idea of that is there is right now, to my knowledge, absolutely no business that can provide the various different opportunities across different countries in one place. So to have the DAC as the community coin for that, as we understand it, is a unique proposition, and we know is in $1 trillion marketplace. So some of the businesses that we currently work with, we do work with IFAs and wealth managers that are interested in crypto and want to be able to talk to their clients about that if they ask questions about it. And we work with accountants. We have a number of private individuals that network for us. We work with trading businesses, whether they're FX focused or crypto or sometimes both. And of course, a good number of property businesses who are a bit concerned about what's going on in the near term. And of course, that have investors that wish to diversify. So I want to talk about some of what drives crypto right now and where we're at as an industry. So I'm slightly conscious I might be preaching to the choir here as an audience of IFAs, but obviously year to date for the FTSE 100 has been tough going, around 20% loss since January. And obviously we've had a unprecedented pandemic and a subsequent global recession. So lots of people are a little bit worried about what the economy has got in store in the near term. And of course, the record low base rate Bank of England currently has a base rate lowest on record over the couple of hundred years has existed. And of course, the effect of, the high street savings rates being very low. So for that reason, we find that lots of our platform users probably wouldn't have considered crypto if the going was great, but really just for reasons of diversification are switching a very small portion of their cash into crypto assets. But the great news is that crypto has done phenomenally well to date. So these are some figures from yesterday. So I'm broadcasting on the 9th of September. So these are some figures I put together yesterday. So the year-to-date growth, Ethereum's up 159%, Bitcoin's up 33%, Litecoin's up 12%, the Dax up 22% so far. So obviously some great figures. You sort of put into perspective that the FTSE is down 20% year to date. There's a lot of people that are slowly coming around to the idea that crypto is an interesting asset. And I'll talk a bit about some of the institutional players that are now entering that marketplace. So I just wanted to screenshot this. This is from over the summer. So the end of June, the Saturday Times printed this. I did read it on the paper, but it obviously doesn't work to screenshot a piece of paper. So it was a really interesting article. Firstly, that was in the Times, which is a fairly conservative newspaper, which talked about a private investor, retail investor, who had cashed in some of his traditional financial services products to invest in Bitcoin, which of course is the poster child for cryptos. So the gentleman in that photo, I think it'd be fair to say, is no spring chicken. I think he was in his 80s from the article that I recall reading. So it really is not just a product for young techies, and actually as a business, Dacxi is very focused on that section of the marketplace, which is sort of 40 to 65, who are generally coming to the table with a fair amount of curiosity about crypto. So where we're at in the marketplace right now is that there was some phenomenal gains seen in crypto in 2017. This particular wave actually applies to a number of cryptos, but was written about Bitcoin. So the people that were investing in 2017, it was a completely unproven concept. It was pretty much the preserve of a niche within a niche, a fairly sort of young crowd, fairly technical. And they saw some phenomenal gains. They were making thousands of percents, but there was a substantial correction thereafter. We now see a lot more of the institutional and retail investors coming to the table. And obviously that's given rise to some phenomenal gains. And we've put out a lot of content, and we have a great ebook which is free, which is available online, which talks about the boom that's coming, which is from the institutional investors coming to the table, and the sort of tipping point for adoption, where crypto has become really the technology of choice. So you'll see a lot of retail businesses coming to the table. I think one of the things that exists now in 2020, which wasn't around in 2017, was really just the proof of concept. So I think it's a very fair comment to say, look, if I'm going to buy £100 worth of cryptocurrencies, is it real? So I think it's very interesting to look at some of those big retail businesses that are involved. So a good example of that would be some of the big payment businesses. So MasterCard, for example, is working on crypto wallet projects. They have about 80 patents in blockchain technology. Visa has 24 patents in blockchain technology. And today you can pay in crypto via their relationship with Coinbase. And they're also investing in funding a number of startups. They actually announced over the summer in July that they'd be working more closely with crypto platforms to build that gap between the crypto businesses and their 61 million merchants. And bearing in mind that Visa is used by 1 billion people, that is a phenomenal marketplace. And Visa actually has some input into global policymakers, including the World Economic Forum. And they actually assist in policy recommendations around central bank digital currencies. I'll be talking about on the next slide. PayPal, which is live in 200 countries, also have patents in blockchain technology, and they announced over the summer that they will be offering crypto to its 320 million plus users. So just bearing in mind that Visa is used by 1 billion people, PayPal has 321 million platform users, and I appreciate there'll be some crossover there. That is a substantial marketplace for crypto, and we believe will have a positive effect on prices. And unsurprisingly, a lot of those retail businesses are now on board. So eBay last year said that they have a desire to include Bitcoin as a method of paying via their platform. Amazon is already collaborating with numerous blockchain development businesses. And today you can actually spend crypto already via Fold at Amazon, Starbucks and Uber. So look, not a niche, very much getting some real traction, and obviously phenomenal for the crypto industry. And for people like me that work in crypto that are putting articles in the press, we're very much talking about it as a wave of technology, a wave of adoption. Of people listening to this call that, like me, are old enough that have seen various technologies hitting the financial services, banking and technology marketplace, it's important to understand these trends and ideally profit from them. So the other thing, of course, is that lots of the big institutional investors or the big infrastructure firms are very interested. So one of the things that's happened is that a number of central banks are looking at digitizing their currencies. So even if you are not involved in crypto personally, it is highly likely you'll be involved in using a digitized currency in the near future. So it's estimated that 80% of the central banks are looking at digitizing their currencies. And frankly, because crypto is a easier, faster, more secure way of conveying value, lots of big firms are interested in it. So obviously tier one banks, Citi and JP Morgan, New York Stock Exchange is on record as having a firm interest in blockchain. BlackRock, again, world's biggest asset manager, just shy of $7 trillion under management. And of course, DTCC, which is by a long way, in terms of value, the largest financial processor in the world. There's also a number of hedge funds that have come out and said that crypto is a fantastic hedge against inflation. And my personal favorite, JP Morgan, over the summer saying that crypto is absolutely not an asset class. No thanks, stay clear. And then a few weeks later, employing a head of digital assets. So look, lots of people coming to the table, and because it's such a more efficient way of moving value, we expect to see the positivity amongst those big players growing in the weeks and months to come. So look, which cryptos? There's a really, really great website that I would thoroughly suggest you have a look at called CoinMarketCap, which is free, so anyone can get online. You haven't got to be a member or anything to have a look. So there are a huge amount of cryptos. Unfortunately, there are almost 7,000 cryptocurrencies. Anyone can come up with one. So if you're looking to get involved in crypto, that's a huge amount of variety to try and sift through to work out which of them are good. So as a business, Dacxi is very focused on what's called the blue chip cryptos. So those are the cryptos which have a well-established track record. They're not new to the party, and we know that there's substantial demand for them. So this is trading volumes that I looked up this morning. So Bitcoin has seen 26 billion, Ethereum's seen 15 billion, and Litecoin has seen 1.8 billion. So some real demand. And again, for our platform users that are buying these currencies, if they do need to sell their coins for any reason, there is liquidity so that they can exit. But it's really key to understand that those three coins are the ones that we focus on because they're the blue chip, the ones that have done well. They also account for around 70% of all traded volume. So just to be really clear, there are 7,000 coins, but yet 3 of them are 70% of the market. So for that reason, that's our focus as a business. So Dacxi does 2 different programs. We have the bundle. So anyone that uses our platform has a wallet, a digital wallet under their own name. Looks very much like an online banking app. You're welcome to set up an account, have a play with it. There's no fee or charge for setting yourself up a wallet. And we have what's called the bundle. So anyone that uses the platform and purchases the bundle automatically splits between 50% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Litecoin and 20% DAC. There is currently a 10% incentive on that DAC element. And we also find that, again, for people that just want that flexibility for exit, tend to gravitate towards the bundle. And we also have what's called the DAC pack, which is our community coin. We are currently in a pre-launch phase. We're anticipating that being listed on an external exchange by the end of the year. Lots of content from Dacxi around how that works. We also have what's called a blue paper, which talks in a lot more detail about the DAC, and my apologies, I don't quite have enough time within this presentation to talk about that in any more detail. So for our platform users, there's a minimum entry level of £100, and we also accept company purchases within a company name, and the transfers are free. We are currently working on a number of fully regulated routes, which we hope to have launched in the coming months. So for those of you that are looking at becoming involved in crypto, we do have a referral program. There are some very healthy referral bonuses paid. On the DAC pack, we pay 20%, on the bundle we pay 10%. And we also have a good network of master agents who recruit affiliates and earn an override. It's a completely automated online journey, which means particularly whilst we've been in the UK in lockdown, that entire customer journey is purely done from home, which, as we've been discouraged from living in the house, has been great. So some of the things that we provide for our affiliates, of course, there's no cost for being involved in Dacxi. There's no element of getting involved which involves any expenditure. We're the only crypto business to have a certification program. So for our affiliates that are out talking about Dacxi and about crypto, there's a certification program which is online. And we do believe that the UK and Ireland is a fairly underexposed market. So we have a small amount of representation so far. And also because we are paying those referral fees on a 2-week basis, it's quite good for cash flow for businesses we work with. And we have a good number of weekly seminars, either held by Dacxi or under the brands that we work with. And we have a lot of one-to-one support. So we do a very good job, I believe, of helping people understand crypto and get involved. It's a great community. We have a WhatsApp group, which is very active. We have daily meetups. We have very regular online webinars and sessions. So you can meet experts and hear about best practice and swap ideas. So in terms of marketing support, there's a huge amount available. We have a lot of shareable content, whether it's social media, our ebooks or our blue paper. The certification program we're very proud of because we believe we're the only company with it. We do a lot of email campaigns, a lot of webinars. There's a big due diligence pack, and we also have a full-time compliance officer with a global remit. There's huge amounts of PR that we put out in the marketplace where you'll see Dacxi being talked about as an industry leader and expert. And we often have free coin offers just to allow people to participate and get involved. So obviously we are very keen to work with people across IFA and accountant communities. So the next stage would be to engage with learning. As I say, we've got a lot of content. We have a certification program. Attend some of our regular online events. You can check those out on our website, which is www.dacxi.com. Or of course, chat to the person that introduced you to hear more. So look, I try and keep these sessions quite short. I hope that gave you a taster of what we do and what's going on in the industry. So I will stop the recording, and I really hope to see you online soon. Bye for now.